My name is Connie Thompson. I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I'm also an organizer with the Answer Coalition here in Indiana. I spoke today about pinkwashing and manufacturing consent, and how queer people of the United States do not want to have this war in Iran waged in their name, and how the criminal media will push wars by lying to us about how they just have so much concern about lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in Iran when they don't actually care about those same people here in the United States at home. So I'm just I was here speaking against that narrative to try and make sure that the capitalist elite cannot try to manufacture consent for this war that we do not want. We actually have a follow-up meeting. We'll have an indoor forum where it won't be windy or cold this upcoming Thursday next week at the A&P building on the east side. We also we will also continue to fight this war in Iran as the conditions change and as new events unfold. We'll be out here, and we'll be out here for as long as it takes to make sure that this war doesn't happen. Just like we defeated the war in Venezuela, we will defeat the war in Iran.
Hello, my name is Riley Bowe. I am a member of the Answer Indiana Coalition, and I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Basically, we're out here, basically protesting the latest in what has seemed to be like a calculated attack on Iran by the U.S. government. The U.S. government has been upping the ante, upping the ante of already destabilizing relations with the Iranian government. The U.S. war machine needs to end. Basically, this is just, in my personal opinion, I feel like this is used as a bargaining, some sort of bargaining chip for Trump's re-election, and kind of a distraction from his impeachment proceedings right now. I'm going to say that this is not the first time that the U.S. government has done this. In my speech, I talked on the Vietnam War, how the U.S. government had waged a war against Vietnam in the 60s and 70s, basically destroyed the environment in Vietnam, and also led thousands of people to be sick from Agent Orange. And that was just another thing of U.S. imperialism. I also touched on Korea. I have ancestral ties to Korea. And so growing up learning about the Korean War and how thousands of people were dying and sick and thousands of children were left orphaned, and the U.S. government still holds occupation on the Korean Peninsula to this day. So I call for the end of U.S. imperialism and the U.S. war machine.
My name is Alec Fuller. I am here on behalf of Answer Coalition. I'm not part of these groups. I would like to join. I'm from Lebanon, which is about 45 minutes northwest of here. Let's see. I'm here because I believe in these causes: the U.S. troops getting out of Iraq, ending U.S. hegemony, ending U.S. imperialism, occupation abroad, all that. Communism. I'm a communist. I think, and it is of the opinion that a lot of people that the U.S. there's no reason for them to be in these countries, whether it be for, in the case of Bolivia, it's for their lithium, for their minerals, and because they aren't, they're not subject to the IMF loans and stuff like that. Because if the U.S. can get their resources cheaper, or just flat out steal them like they did in Africa, like we are doing in the Middle East with our oil, like we are doing in Bolivia, we can, because we are a capitalist nation, and capitalism requires exploitation to sustain itself. Eventually that'll end, but I think it's going to be really bad when that happens. So to me, since World War II, all the countries that we've gotten involved with, occupation-wise, cooing, all those aren't. There's just no ethical way to justify that. I mean, you know, between us slandering countries with like Iraq, the DPRK, Russia, the Soviet Union, all those, there just wasn't a real. The only threat that those countries pose to us is threatening our supremacy, because we have somewhere between 800 to 1,200 military bases in the world. The only other country that has, there's two other countries that have military bases. One is China, then that has one in Africa, and the other is Russia, which has one in Syria. So 2 versus 1,200 for occupation. I have a friend that's in the Navy. He's in Guam. No, he's in Hawaii right now. Guam and Hawaii were both military conquests back in whatever time that was. So to me, communism is more just almost a way of life. I mean, since becoming communist, I've really, it's shaped my perspectives on stuff, especially with like labor and workers and stuff. Because I just want to be happy. I don't want to get a ton of money. I just want to be, content. And that goes for me and probably everybody that lives in the world. Most people, I say most people. I mean, I work in construction. A lot of my friends work in retail. Like, those are jobs that are, necessary. And so, but the fact that like I make less than $20 an hour versus like the CEO, they make, who knows, a lot more than that. I don't think that's fair. I mean, like, I'm doing all the hard labor. They're not. They sit in an office and on a yacht, etc. I have one house. They have many. Some of those things. And so, to me, like ending poverty, homelessness, famine, hunger, inequality, I think that's all important.